You are being lied to about investing. They want you to think it's a casino, a get-rich-quick scheme where you'll either strike it big on some crypto coin or lose everything. They've made it feel so complicated and terrifying that you're frozen, afraid to even start. That fear is costing you a fortune. That ends today. Forget the TikTok gurus. Forget the complicated charts and the meme stocks designed to take your money. This is the only no BS investing guide you need for 2026. I'm going to give you the dead simple, step-by-step playbook to build a real, bulletproof investment portfolio, even if you're starting with literally zero. Hey everyone, I'm Ryan. On this channel, we don't chase money, we build systems that generate it. I break down real wealth strategies, asset building frameworks, and financial truths most people never learn. If you're serious about growing your money the smart way, subscribe now and hit the bell icon. Let's build something that pays you back. This isn't about gambling. This is your plan for building actual, life-changing wealth the right way. Before we talk about how to invest, let's get real about why. Why is this so urgent in 2026? Yes, building wealth and achieving financial independence are the goals. But there's a much more immediate threat, inflation. That cash you have sitting in a savings account? It's losing its value every single day. Investing isn't a luxury anymore. It's a necessity if you want your money to grow, not shrink. The goal isn't to gamble. It's to make your money work for you, so you don't have to work for it forever. And the secret to this is compound returns. It's the engine of wealth creation. Your money earns returns, and then that money starts making its own money. Think of it like a snowball rolling downhill. It starts small, but over years and decades, it can become an unstoppable financial force. The sooner you start, the bigger that snowball gets. But before you invest a single penny, you need an emergency fund. This part is non-negotiable. I am serious. This is your financial firewall. It's 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses, tucked away in a high-yield savings account where you can get to it instantly. This fund is what stops you from having to panic sell your investments during a market downturn just to cover a surprise car repair or medical bill. Once that's locked in, you're ready to build your empire. All right, your foundation is set. So, what do you actually buy? The investing world looks incredibly complex from the outside, but for 99% of people, you only need to understand a few key options. First, individual stocks. When you buy a stock, you're buying a tiny piece of a single company, like Apple or Microsoft. The potential for high reward is there, but so is the risk. If that one company fails, your money goes down with it. For a beginner, picking individual stocks is like trying to find a needle in a global haystack. Then you have bonds. A bond is essentially a loan you make to a government or a corporation, and in return, they pay you interest. They are generally much safer than stocks and add stability to your portfolio, but their growth potential is significantly lower. And that brings us to the beginner's best friend, the ETF, or Exchange Traded Fund. An ETF is like an investment combo meal. Instead of picking just one thing, you get a whole basket of hundreds or even thousands of different stocks and bonds in a single purchase. One of the most popular is an S&P 500 ETF. With one click, you own a tiny piece of the 500 biggest companies in the US. You're no longer betting on one horse. You're betting on the long-term growth of the entire US economy. For most people starting out, ETFs are the smartest and simplest way to invest. They provide instant diversification, your best defense against risk, and typically have incredibly low fees. Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road. Let's build your plan step by step. Step 1. Where do you invest? You need to open an investment account. The easiest places to start are online brokerage accounts or robo-advisors. Brokerages give you full control to buy and sell investments yourself, and most now have zero commission fees or account minimums. Robo-advisors are even simpler. They build and manage a portfolio for you based on your goals for a small fee. They are a fantastic hands-off option for getting started. Step 2. How much should you invest? Consistency beats amount every single time. A great rule to follow is the 50-30-20 budget. 50% of your income for needs, 30% for wants, and the final 20% for savings and investments. If that's too much right now, start with 10% or even 5%. The secret weapon here is to automate it. Set up an automatic transfer from your bank to your investment account every single month. Turn investing into a habit, not a choice. Step 3. What should your 2026 portfolio actually look like? Simplicity is your superpower. Seriously. A fantastic starting point is a simple two-fund portfolio. For example, 70 to 80% in a U.S. total stock market ETF. This gives you broad exposure to thousands of U.S. companies, big and small. 20 to 30% in an international stock market ETF. The global economy is huge, and diversifying outside of the U.S. is a critical move for long-term growth. This simple split lets you capture growth in the U.S. market while diversifying globally. If you're a bit more conservative and want less risk, you could adjust it. Maybe 60% U.S. stocks, 20% international stocks, and 20% in a bond ETF for extra stability. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. So, what's special about 2026? Major financial institutions are forecasting another positive year for the S&P 500, with firms like Goldman Sachs projecting returns around 12% and Morgan Stanley around 14%. This optimism is largely driven by expectations of strong corporate earnings growth. A dominant theme is the evolution of artificial intelligence. While previous years focused on building AI infrastructure, 2026 is shaping up to be about companies actually using it to drive productivity and profits. But instead of trying to guess the next big AI stock, remember that by owning a broad market ETF, you already have a piece of the biggest players leading this charge. However, with elevated valuations, the market could be volatile. This is why a strategy called dollar cost averaging, DCA, is your secret weapon. It simply means investing the same amount of money on a regular schedule, regardless of market headlines. When prices are high, your fixed amount buys fewer shares. When prices dip, that same amount automatically buys more. It removes emotion and the losing game of timing the market from the equation. Finally, analysts see the market rally broadening out. It's not expected to just be about a few mega-cap tech stocks anymore. Other sectors and smaller companies are also positioned to perform well. This highlights why diversification is so crucial. And the simple two-fund ETF portfolio we just discussed? It's already set up to capture this trend, without you having to do a thing. Your behavior as an investor is far more important than any stock you could ever pick. Let's cover the critical mistakes you absolutely must avoid. Number 1. Making emotional decisions. The market will go up, and the market will go down. Headlines will scream, "Crash!" Your job is to ignore the noise. Selling your investments in a panic is the single most destructive thing you can do to your long-term returns. Remember, you are in this for decades, not days. Number 2. Trying to time the market. Spoiler alert, nobody can consistently predict the market's next move. Not the experts, not your neighbor, nobody. People who try usually miss the market's best days, which absolutely crushes their returns over time. Your automated investment plan is the perfect antidote to this temptation. And number 3, paying high fees. A fee of 1% or 2% might sound small, but over decades, it can consume a horrifying portion of your potential earnings. This is why we love low-cost index funds and ETFs, which often have fees below 0.10%. It ensures more of your money stays in your pocket, working for you. And that is your complete playbook for investing in 2026. Let's recap. First, build your emergency fund. Second, Open a low-cost investment account. Third, create a dead simple portfolio with 2 or 3 broad market ETFs. Fourth, automate your investments. And finally, the hardest part. Be patient and ignore the noise. The path to building wealth isn't a secret. It's about discipline, simplicity, and time. You don't need a finance degree, and you don't need a fortune to start. You just need a plan. And now, you have one. If this video gave you the confidence to finally get started, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more no-nonsense financial guides. And drop a comment below. What's the one thing that's been holding you back from investing? I truly want to know. Thanks for watching, and here's to your future.